Good evening, my name is Clarence, and this is Leonardo, and this is your Evening Renaissance News. So Clarence, how are you feeling tonight? To be quite honest, Leonardo, my back's a little sore from the horse ride over. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty great, thank you for asking. So let's get to the news. Leonardo da Vinci paints The Last Supper.
Recently, Vasco da Gama has arrived in India after sailing the southern tip of Africa all the way from Portugal.
Michelangelo begins his work on the sculpture David.
Leonardo da Vinci has just recently finished the Mona Lisa.
Michelangelo begins his painting on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel.
Breaking news, breaking news. Let's go to the studio for more with Antonio.
Thanks, Clarence. This just in. The Black Plague has taken over half of Europe, and the only way to survive is to pack up and get out. Back to the studio.
Thank you, Antonio. That sounds intense. Now on to sports.
Tomorrow, Henry VIII has a fencing tournament at the Gloucester Cathedral.
And Charles V will take on the Prince of Orange in a tennis match later this week.
That concludes it for the sports. Coming up after the break is Cooking with Clarence.
Ever wondered what the moon looks like up close? Well, you're in luck thanks to Galileo. In 1609, his telescope, modeled after early telescopes with 3 times magnification, you can now explore outer space with 20 times magnification. With this new invention, you can look at the moon, discover Jupiter's 4 moons, observe a supernova, and find sunspots. For only 20 shillings, it's yours. But it gets better.
What?
If you call 1-800-MOON right now, we will throw in a free copy of Sidereus Nuncius. So call today for your telescope.
Hi, welcome to Cooking with Clarence. Today I'll be showing you an easy recipe for peasant bread.
For this recipe, you'll need 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 package of dry yeast, 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 cups of warm water, olive oil, and 4 cups of flour. The first step is to add the sugar into the bowl of water. Then, you add your yeast to the sugar and water. Finally, stir it until it is thoroughly mixed. The next step is to take the salt and add it to the bowl of flour. Then, whisk it thoroughly until it is well blended. Then, take the dry ingredients and put them into a larger bowl. Next, add in the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients. Finally, mix it all together until it is well blended. Finally, add a warm, damp cloth and let it rise for approximately 1 hour.
Next, grease the pan with olive oil to prevent the bread from sticking. Then, take the bread and place it onto your pan. Next, conform your bread to the shape that you would like to have it when it is baked. Finally, lightly brush the top of the bread with melted butter. Then, place the bread in the oven for 10 minutes at 425 degrees. After the 10 minutes is up, reduce the heat to 375 degrees and bake for another 15 minutes. After the 15 minutes is up, take the bread out of the oven. Alright, this is the finished product of the peasant bread. I hope you guys try this recipe out at home. Thank you for joining me today with Cooking with Clarence. See you next time.
Wow, that looks delicious, Clarence.
It's a very simple recipe to make at home. And coming up next is an interview with Michelangelo about his new sculpture.
Here we have Michelangelo to talk about his newest sculpture, David. Thank you, Leonardo. It's great to be here. See, my sculpture is called David. He stands about 17 feet tall. He's made out of a single block of marble from Tuscany, and you can find him at the Accademia Gallery in Florence, Italy. So go ahead and check it out.
Thank you, Michelangelo. And that's all for tonight, folks. So make sure to tune in tomorrow at 5 o'clock on the Renaissance Evening News.
I forgot what I was supposed to say. Thanks, Clarence. This just in. The Black Plague is... Yeah!
So Clarence, how are you feeling tonight? To be quite honest, Leonardo, my back's a little sore. Clarence, how are you tonight? To be quite honest, Leonardo. For some reason, who is Leonardo? So, Clarence, how are you feeling tonight? To be quite honest, Leonardo, my back's a little sore from the bus ride. In other news, Vasco da Gama has arrived in India. Yeah, I'm starting recording. So, Claire.
Sorry.
So, Clarence, how are you feeling tonight? So, Clarence, how are you feeling tonight? To be quite. So, Clarence, how are you feeling tonight? Well, to be quite honest, my name is. Good evening. My name is Clarence.